are not ready to answer that, you can
I
just
got
leave
what
it.
you job.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. We
It's your boy Young
you always you answer
get
something and and something you don't know. You don't need to give time for research, and then you can get the right answer instead of leaving the misleading answers.
Panda with ya Panchid America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, Kujura by a checker, Papu Panda Jiro, what ya be Dwalaventing. Stand up Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Panapan Pantalek stand up Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Panapan walk on the lake, Kankaro, what on the watching, Oga level like Gear Bow, where I lake, Panda with ya Panchi America, Panya Dwalamano, Chingatongo Pandon, Kujura by a checker, Patu Panda Jiro, what ya be Dwalamenting.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in, to welcome you all in Lagos State Media. Before we start the program, I would like to ask each and individuals of us to have a prayer first with our brother of God and is the leader of South Sudanese community also to lead us in prayers before we open this program. Uncle Odange, please welcome and give us word of prayers.
Thank you, Isaac. Let's pray. Almighty God, God of love, God of peace, we thank you, Lord, for privilege, Lord, you created us in your image as a people of South Sudan that you love, as mentioned in the book of Isaiah. Lord, we call upon your wisdom while we are in this platform of like media. Lord God, you love kids, as you stated in your book, you ordain praises at the lips of infants and children to silence the enemy. We are here, Lord, to discuss and talk upon your ways, how we can address and bring about ideas and support that, Lord, can support our young ones all over Australia and other part of the world. I thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, Lord, come up from the Lake State. Thank you for your sons, Isaac and his team, who are doing this show, and also my team, my deputy, and my youth leader, and all those, Lord, who are tuning in this platform. We thank you. Bless us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Odange, the chairperson, president of South Sudanese community in South Australia, and your team. I would like you to introduce yourself, and each individual of you will be introducing yourself individually, and then I will lay down the topic that we will be discussing. I will start with you, Comrade Odange.
Thank you very much. I'm Daniel Bakupiogui, president of South Sudanese Associations, South Australia. Father of 6 kids, a servant also of God, is not only servant of community, and also very people. I lead a very people that I do love, which is the people of South Sudan, which I'm also proud of them. No matter, regardless of what, it is my people. I don't shy out from them. Thank you.
You are welcome. Next, Angelo Dingdel.
Yeah, my name is Angelo Ding Del. I'm the Vice President of South Sudanese Community of South Australia. It's my privilege to be on the Lake States Media Today show and to talk about the children. And I live in South Australia, and I'm a father of 5 kids. Good. And have a family. So anything to do with children is our concern as a whole, leaderships and all the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Angelo. Next is Deng Defayo.
Thank you, Lake State Media, and I thank all the viewers around the world and also in South Australia here. I appreciate the opportunity that you guys have given us this time to come and discuss about our young people. My name is Deng, as you guys heard. A lot of people knows me as Defire, and I'm currently the youth leader within the South Sudanese under Udangi and Angelo. And I'm looking forward to having more discussions in this show. Thank you.
You're welcome. As we have heard, I'll go straight to Arnold.
Yeah, thank you, viewers. Thank you, Lake State, for this time right now. And I'm really happy to be with you guys. It'd be a long time that we didn't talk about the thing that facing our community. It is a good time now to start to do that. It is the right time also. So my name is Arnold Bill. I am Vice President of Sudanese community here in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. So I am a family man. I have 4 kids. They are young. The eldest one is 13. So I'm a busy man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're highly welcome. Thank you so much, Arnold. Next will be the co-host of Lake State Media to introduce themselves as well, because some of them of you never met before. Abraham, we'll start with you. Unmute yourself. You are muted, Abraham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of Lake State Media. And I would like to welcome our guests to Lake State Media. Thank you so much for coming in to our media platform and to talk about these challenges that our community are facing here in diaspora in US and Australia and Canada and London around. So this is a very good topic. My name is Abraham Medjak. I'm from Yerul. I'm a member of Lake State Media and I'm based in the United States. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much, Abraham. Agar?
Thank you, Brother Isaac, and all our guests on the studio and the rest who are watching in different places. I welcome you all to Lake State Media, and we are very glad to meet you today, tonight, this afternoon, and discuss these issues which are involving our kids as South Sudanese in South Australia. And I am the one of the team of Lake State Media based in Adelaide, which is South Australia. Thank you. Back to you, Isaac.
Okay, thank you so much, Agar. Thank you, everyone. I welcome all of you to Lake State Media. My name is Isaac Tieng Paul. I will be the host of this show with my co-host in this great topic. I'm also a concern in this topic because I'm a father as well, father of 9 children. I thank God for that blessing. My eldest child is 26, and the youngest is 6 years old. So I'm a part and parcel of this discussion that we are asking ourselves. The crimes are growing higher among the youth here in Western world, in diaspora. Let's put it that way. Especially here in Australia, children are killing each other. They begin to involve in the gangs-related crimes. Some of them are in prison. Others are in wanted list with the police. So what caused or what triggered this youth to go into such direction? So that's where we will be asking ourselves and we're brainstorming. We have our mothers down South Sudanese ladies who are really frustrated when you see your child going to such a wrong way or a wrong direction. The ladies now, they are the most hard-hit people in our society. We'll start with you, President Odangi.
Thank you very much, Isaac. It's a privilege to be on this platform, State Media. Thank you. Indeed, it is very important to talk about a topic about young people. And to me, it is actually complex. It's not a one thing that actually trigger these issues. It's a complex. The first one is a shock of new home and the culture of new home. One of them, and for us all, whether with a kid or as an adult, that one of the factors that could be one of the triggers. I remember when we moved from South Sudan to Khartoum, we faced different issues. And the law of this country also lets parents with no any choice. They don't have anything to say about the way they bring it up the kid or discipline kid or raising up the kids. That also become a problem. And then kids, they abusing that law, they're protecting them also to put the parent in the situation that they can't do anything about their attitude and about their behaviors. And kids here more respected when they lie to the system, to the government, to the police and say, my mother or my father, the police will listen to them. And the same way they continue using that and they drag themselves to such issue. Another factor is school. With this school is the major thing. Both parties are involved. The first thing that we come from non-English background, we don't speak English. First of all, that's a matter for us all. We got respected mothers, the widows of mothers who come here to raise up the kids. They don't know English and they don't know the system of school here. In Africa, let me talk about Sudan, which I know. The teachers offer 75% for education, and then the rest will be there. But here in Australia, a family, a student or a child depend on family to actually teach them. And we don't have that skill and we don't have that language. And also we're struggling with the life as well to provide for them food and other issues. So now that become a factor that allow kids to move to from year 5, they can continue easily. When they reach year 6, things become tough. So they don't get support from the school, and family also are not supporting them because they don't have anything to offer. Mainly boys, because we know boys or men that are very proud, they don't actually open up and say they need support. They will continue with that till they reach to year 10 or year 9, whereby they start to drop out from school. Then when they drop out of school, they will be in the street. Now, when they're in the street also, they will join up with other kids from mainstream community who are not in the school and then try to engage with them in a wrong direction by involving them in such like alcohol or a drug. And our kid become a soft target for other group that behind you are using them to use our kid and involved in a such act of antisocial. But these are the things. And another factor also here, as we are struggling, we like me got 6 kids, and those 6 kids they need to be taken to sport. So we are 2 of 6 kids are involved in sport. You have to be very careful. Make sure that you are available. You drop your kid to sport and although pick them up. And sometimes we are lacking there because we are very limited because we don't have a big family that we used to have in South Sudan. Your neighbor or your cousin, your auntie can help you. So sometimes you become very limited. You can allow those who are 12 years old or 13 or 14 to go by themselves. And they become one of those 14 or 12, 13, 14, when they go by themselves to activity or to sport, then they become vulnerable. On the street, you don't know how they're going to meet, whom are the people that they are engaging with. And all those factors actually are the ones that are affecting our children and diaspora.
All right, then thank you so much, President Odangi. Next will be the deputy Del, the Fursa Hagat. Unmute yourself. Yep.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and also I would like to thank my leader and the old my youth leader too, and the old Lagos State media hostess, and I'm very happy to be a part of this show today. In regard to the issue of the children, actually, as Mr. Chairman put it, there are so many issues that concerning why our children are having problems, not just only in Australia, but all over wherever we are in the Western world. And in particular, in Australia now, it become a very regular thing. Every time you see in the media, South Sudanese kids, they have killed themselves. And what we are facing here is not just only children dropping out of school, is containing a lot of issues that contribute to this. You talk about alcohol, you talk about drugs, you talk about loneliness. Many of our boys actually they have they are involved in different way or another in different activities, of which we don't have control over them. And the reason has been mentioned before by the Mr. Chairman that in Australia, when you are 18 years and over, or even 17 or 16, you are told that you have freedom. You know, the children are told in school, they are told everywhere where they are that they have freedom, and the freedom that they have is not being explained to them. Which kind of freedom do they have in order to, to live their life? The freedom that they have, as they have taken it in a different context altogether. The freedom you have is not to destroy your own livelihood. You have a freedom of speech, you have freedom of movement, you have freedom of other things, but not to destroy yourself. But here, because we came into culture that we don't have in our part of the world as South Sudanese, our culture is that children are guided by the parent until when they grow up, until when a time they get married and become independent. But in this society we are living in is a little bit different to our way of life, and that's why it's very difficult for us to control our children. I cannot blame any parent because myself, I'm a parent. I've been a leader for community for a little bit of time, long time, and I know why it's very difficult for a mother or a father to really control his or her child in order not to to do what they are doing now, because when the kids go out and come back at late hours, when you ask them, they will tell you a different story, and they shy away from sharing the problem that they are facing with their parents. They don't tell their parents, and that makes the matter worse, because they think if they tell us that this is what they are facing, um, they may get blamed. Which even at the school, if kids make a mistake at the school, in order for the teacher to give them notice to take it to the parent, they hide those notes. They don't give the notes to their parents. Whatever they have done in the school, whether they are suspended or what, they cannot give a note to their parents. And that is the barriers of communication. That is a breakdown between the school and the parent. And the children here, our children, they seek to, to think that they have learned a lot, in order for them to manage themselves. Knowing English is different things, and living life is a different thing altogether. So, and this is where we have a lot of issues, and in this regard now it become out of control, and all of us, we need a collective views to how to deal with this, because it hurts all of us. As we are parents, it hurt all of us, and the young ones that are still coming up, and if they come up in the same way this situation is now, it's really heading for our society and for our community and the wider society of Australia too, because Australians now, they are scared of Sudanese, or you call them African. They are scared. If somebody found you on the way, he will just look at you if you are a killer, like you are a troublemaker, which is not true. So, but because of the media, everything that is seen is a negative. It's not, nothing is positive about our children. So, I hope with our all collective views and to address these issues, we need, as Mr. Chairman, we have, you didn't mention, we have scheduled our meetings here in South Australia for the all sub-community leaders to come and meet with us on Saturday in order to address the same issues that we are talking about here. So thank you very much, and I hope with our collective views, we can at least reach somewhere to solve this issue of the children.
Thank you so much, Comrade Angelo Ding, for your input. You elaborated it. Good. We'll go next to the youth leader, Ding Defire.
Now, thank you very much. And like I said earlier, I appreciate the opportunity that you guys have given us. My talk, or the remarks that I will make, will probably be a little bit different to what my president and the deputy president said. The reason why I said that, I will just highlight some of the issues, because I dealt with this youth work for quite some time, and the issues that comes up really resonate with what the young person find at home, so that they could go and do whatever they're doing. First and foremost, the first thing that we find out within these young people is cultural confusion within them. What I mean by cultural confusion is that our parents, or the way that we are raised, as parents in Western world, we believe we want to raise these young people the way that we have been raised. And that completely confuse our young people. Maybe my speech will probably upset some of the parents, but the truth sometimes has to be said, because if we need to fix this problem, or need to deal with these problems, we need to go to the root cause of the issues. And people always say, deport them, deport them. Deporting is not a solution, because one, we need to raise our kids and adapt with the Western world. And what I mean by adapting with the Western world is that we scared our kids so very much at home so that they cannot even invite their own friends. And secondly, what they don't do it based. So they do everything they do so that their parent cannot see what they are doing. And that is completely one of the issues that is causing the alcohol use or the drug use. Because once you grow up in this country, there's what they're allowed and what they don't allow. You know, things like alcohol is something that the parent want to see their kids consuming that at their present. But if the kid go and consume it outside, it become a problem because they will interact and definitely they will cause some problems. Secondly, it's the lack of connection between the parents and the young people. What I mean by that is a lot of us, especially me myself, I have kids. I didn't mention that before. And, you know, majority of us sometimes, you know, when they have some issues with the partner, we intend to make it hard for us to co-parent. And this is one of the things, whether you separated with your partner or not, the kids should come to be the priority, you know, regardless whether you're together or you're not together. And you guys have seen a lot of kids here or men who are leading now that have a broken family and they became a successful people. You know, broken family doesn't mean that the the mother and the kids would separate from the dad or the dad will separate from the kid. So that's the one issue. The other issue is the issue that Angelo raised before, the boredom, because if the kid doesn't have that connection, they don't need to, so they don't have anybody to talk to. And most of the time, they tend to stay home, use the phone, and connect with people outside. And those people outside will probably be those kids that are influencing them for them to get out of the house and go and do other stuff. And the issue of the school is very critical because some of our parents are illiterate. They don't speak English properly, and that makes it hard for the kid because if you guys are parents, there's a time that there's a work that given by the parents and the work that is given by the teacher. The teacher can only do 25%, and the 75% is for the parents or the young kids to go and seek somewhere else. Somewhere else is when the parents can jump in and do the homework. Or if they don't do the homework, they will try to see if they could hire someone to come and help that kid. And once the kid has no that support, that's when they go back to school and tell the teacher that I can't do this. And if the teacher said you can't do this, that's what it leads to a kid getting sent to ESLs or doing lesser topics that will not inquire that kids to go to where they want to go. So let's say if the kid is very wants to do things in do a topic in like say physical chemistry, and there's no one helping that kid, and that kid is failing not because they're not that smart, but because there's no support behind that kid. So the kid will decide to drop out from school, and it's not that kid's fault. And one of the kids actually told me once that I don't understand the reason why I should do ESL while I was born here. The ESL is a topic that you do, or the English course that you do once you come from a different country. So us, we need to look as a community of how to fix these issues, because issues of these kids start from home to their friends and then to the street. So the way we need to work on how we can bring these young people together and have a conversation with them, tell them what is bothering you. How can we fix this? And if we don't have that communication with them, we will not fix any problem. The other big elephant in the room as well for these young people is mental health. With all of this stuff, you know, I know our culture sometimes, you know, we we sometimes neglect our kid in a way that, we, as a culture of us, we tend to have many wives, and that many wives sometimes will not work in the Western world. Because the reason I said it will not work in the Western world, you need to do things like Mr. President said before. You need to drop your kid to school, pick them up, and take them to sport. That thing has a lot of impact on the kids, and we don't. Sometimes we ignore it, and sometimes we do it not knowingly. So for us to come together, we need to have a collective ideas and involve these young people into conversation as well. So for me not to prolong my talk, I would stop there, and probably there might be some question asked later, and I will elaborate a bit more after that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Youth Leader Deng, Defire. I appreciate your remarks. You really put in your side, the perspective view, how you're looking at it in your angle side. Brother Arnold Benjamin Bill, Prusa Hagak.
Yeah, thank you so much. You guys hearing me? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman Isaac Tieng, for giving me the time. It is my privilege here to be with you guys there. And I think this topic is really very hard topic. We don't have anything in our hand to solve this this problem, because it become like a pandemic in our society. As you guys facing in Australia, the same thing we are facing here in Canada. So the thing I can see, so we can help those kids, it is really we need to extend our hand and help to those government. So the government is the only way that we can they can help us for this. Because when you see those things, all these kind of all difficult things like shock in culture, and then hard in school, different school is different for them. They can even cope with the people who are living here. So those kind of things, those are a combination of the problem. And those combination of problem is hard for the parent to solve this kind of thing, unless we can go to the people that can help. So if our community
Isaac,
organize ourselves,
Brother Arnold,
yeah,
there are some people who are saying that you guys just put your volume up a little bit so that the audience can listen very well. Yep.
okay.
Yep. Thank you.
And I think
Lakin on my side here is very clear, very loud and clear. Yeah.
hello.
Yeah. Just go on, Arnold. Yep.
Yeah. And I think
Now,
this topic is very hard, and we really need a lot of people who specialize for those kind of things, so that they can help. To my point of view, I see the government, those governments should do something for our kids so they can help. If they have some like a program that can sustain all these kind of kids, they should do that. But in our community, as you guys knows, what we have, we don't have anything. So the only thing we have to sit them down and talk to them. Don't do this, but doing nothing at all. So the best way, we have to be collective, and then we can search for the help for the government. Maybe they can help us for doing this. So actually, I don't have much to say about this, because it's very difficult program, and then we're gonna lose a lot of kids if we South Sudanese, we don't come together, and then we put our mind together to make brainstorming, and then we can see another option. Another option is to return them home. I think now is much better than to to be here. They are here and dying, doing this. This is a lot of heartbreaking, actually. And the topic is really very, 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 very hard. And then we need to actually to see what the government can do so that they can help us to give up at least some program that they can sustain our young kids. So to help them, like kind of sport, or even though to put them in a military system, that would be much easier. If we get some people that don't have criminal, we know here the Western Army, they don't recruit people who have a criminal record. But at least if we have some guy, they have a clean record, so we can ask the government so that they can put them in a situation like that. This is the only things that I think we South Sudanese as a whole, we should think for those kind of things. Security, army, to recruit them in the army, or maybe return them home for time, why for 2 years, 3 years, and then let them come back again. Maybe environment will change. And I think this is the one I can contribute it, but I don't know what we can do. This program is huge for us, actually. And thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arnold. You speak as a leader and also as a father at the same time, and that's what we are all here doing. We are all parents in a different levels, and these children are ours. Whether you are not a father as well, you are to be. And I'm invited intellectuals and the elders, sub-community leaders outside there who are watching us. If you have any input, you can just comment or you can join us in this discussion. We'll yield the microphone to my co-host, Abraham Adit. Also, he's a father and he's a leader to weigh in if he has any way that he took things. Why and how can we help?
Okay, thank you, Chairman Isaac. This is a very good topic. At the same time, it's a sad topic. We should support to talk about this 10 to 15 years ago. When we see our community, our children are having, I started losing life. If we get this one come out and talk in public, we should rescue our children. It is sad as a father. It is sad to see how we lose our children in early age. It's a very sad. I have some of the family members in Australia. One of my uncle is there. You guys know very well. He lost his 2 children, which is very heartbreaking to our family. So now the media is very powerful. These children, these youth, they are using media. So, and it's good that we, the leadership, the community leaders, church leaders, parents, law enforcement, and other government agencies that are based there in Australia should do a connection. And I'm glad that the community leader is here with us and with his deputy. And I will ask some of the questions that they can answer this. Before I had them, yes, I heard what you gentlemen say about the parenting, culture shock, and other thing. Yeah, we is true, is contribute. We have these different, these children. There are some children that parent brought them with them. They already grown up, and then they went to Australia. And there are some of the children that are born in Australia. These are the 2 different generations. Those children that brought with the children at the time, whether they are coming from Egypt or they are coming from Kakuma, these children, they want to grow up and they know the culture that they were in those areas when they're in East Africa or in Egypt or in Khartoum. But when they come to Australia, I don't know how the Australian law work, but here United States, Our crime here in the United States is way different than you guys in Australia. Even when we see here in the United States, our children here in the United States, they are not more involved into the gang than the adults. Some of the here in America are the few people that they're above 18 and older. And most of those are people who are some of our former lost boys. That we see that. So culture and the parenting is a big factor here. So our parent, the parent of this kid, we should blame them because they are not doing their job as a parent. Yes, of course, there's one of the big factors here. I hear it because I see there's a lot of family breakup, and this is one of the root cause of this troubling moment that our children are facing in Australia. And this have to do with all of us community member to come up. I know our culture sometimes is very hard. The community leaders sometimes they will not be solved. And another thing too, I see in Western country here, we see the culture that we have in America, in Western country. I know it's the same thing you guys have in Australia. That the kid, the parent cannot beat up the kid. If the kid do something, you don't have to beat the kid up. You'll get in trouble. But we should mix these two cultures together. And the parent too has a Sudanese in America or in Australia. We have a mixed culture that we have here. But the parent should do a job. The job that you know your own culture, even though you went to Australia, you come here as a grown-up person, you don't know how to speak English, but you know your own culture, how you sit down with your kid in dinner table and tell her or he what the life is, what's the difference between wrong and right. So these children, what I heard a lot, statistic that I've been seeing on social media coming from Australia is really horrible. I hear a lot of teenagers ending up in prison. Some of them are die. So my question because it's late here and I will yield my microphone back to you guys. So my question to you, Chairman, what did the community leadership do with the family, with the parents, and the law enforcement in Australia do to make it work to rescue our children not involved in the gang violence? So that is the question that I'm asking you guys to answer. And this topic, I'm encouraging you guys to reach out to the parent because this is a time to open up discussion in public so that the other people who don't reach in social media can listen. So it's a time to bring these children so they can prep themselves what's going on, what help that we can give. So thank you very much. And I will give my back to you, Isaac, and I will excuse myself. And you guys I will be still watching. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Abraham. I appreciate your word. The question that you directed to the leadership of South Sudanese community in South Australia will go direct to their office. We'll start again with the president of South Sudanese community in South Australia, who came up with this idea and initiative to talk, to brainstorm. So, Odangi, I way back the microphone to you and to elaborate more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaac, and everyone who have contributed into this very important issue. One thing I did not mention before as well is also medium of social media. One of the things that also one of the factors that children are using, and majority of us, we are ignorant of that technology, including some games that children are playing, like Fortnite, and Roblox. Now, back to what Habram said. This is our problem. Our problem is this: we always react. We react. This is, I don't know about African. We Sudanese, we react. Let me give you example from my community. We have been in Khartoum for so long time. People are dying, and we borrowed a tool to bury a death. But Anuak people, they don't want to buy the tools. They say when you buy the tool, you're inviting a death. Okay, that exactly. We don't plan ahead or preventions. In our leadership, in my team, we got a plans. Most of our plans is preventions. And we do believe solving the problem always got a cost. But when you start with preventions, it will minimize the cost. And when we put in our plan is this: before things to happen, we need to collaborate with the families and the law enforcement, like a police and government. Yes, you got a break of 7 years in South Australia, which there is no proper organizations, and that also was one of the problems. In response to that, because we identified the problem previously, we knew that there's issues in the school. Our team, we think of actually come up with the coaching, tutoring the young people, and also have people, our people in the school, like lessons from our communities, and to help with the schooling, and also encourage young people to involve in activity like sport, and also traditional dancing, which is part of our culture. Good, we communicate, we also can engage in that. But once we were elected, one day we call a meeting. When we call a meeting, we put forward the ideas that were in office, including patrolling, people to volunteer to do patrolling. At that time, people are not seeing things like what we are now. But we in leadership, we knew people were not serious about that. But we did not stop. We still, if something happens, occur, anyone involved in crime, always we go and talk to the family and talk to young people, and sometimes as well as a leader go to the court. And we also have a lawyer for our community in South Australia. She's a lady from, she's a white lady, but married to a South Sudanese member. And that's what we do. And also we go to school. Myself, I go to school, some school around where I live, and Baba West. We go when there's issues, talk to principals. And fortunately, we got now one member who was doing tutoring sometime in my house here. There were two actually. One of them now in a school is working in two schools, Trinity College and Black Crossing. So it's helpful, it's very helpful a lot for school and for our young people. But it's still, we're still working with the government. A government is willing to support. Government is willing to support. It is up to us. It is up to us as a community to come together and have a plans and make our submission to government and say, this is what we see that can be helpful, that can minimize the crime. I had a meeting last year with the Department of Home Affairs, the regional manager and engagement officer, and actually gave them ideas, and they're happy with that to really to change the way they do a grain. And also we had soccer when we did preparing for independent. We had a soccer, a youth office. They bring those young people. They do soccer and they're that independent. But we couldn't make it because of pandemic. A coronavirus become another also factor that helping those kids to engage in that way because there is no gathering, but they are using that medium, which is also for them they are expert in that. So those are the challenges. But I believe because now when our people see such things bloody, people are the boy has been killed, people are stopping themselves. Now people become aware that there is a need, and they are now ready. We in the office for the plan, we revisit all our strategy for addressing the youth issue at the level of our community and also reaching out to the government for support that we needed to solve this problem. Like my deputy mentioned before, is we are now planning to have a meeting with the sub-community leaders and also communicated to sub-community leaders for themselves to speak to the young people in the community. And really, when we come together, we want to listen every community what they actually diagnose, what are the things that is affecting the young one. And also this already started with some communities like Equatorian, they start that. And I heard also Bor County also, they also did that. And I believe on the 7th, we will have more discussion about that. And then we will have also having a meeting with the sub-community leaders and put our submission and then invite the government. Government, they actually rang me, but I told them at the moment, I don't want to meet the government until we sit down as a community. After that, we will have a meeting with the government and the police of South Australia. Thank you.
That's right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Odangi. It's very good that you are going to meet with the government on this topic, as some of you has put in the weight, and it's not an easy topic that to be discussed one day or we will finalize. We will not reach into the conclusion so soon. It's a process. It needs time to engage. We collect the informations and how we can help. Before I yield the microphone back to all of you, we have a guest among us as well. Comrade Teng, David is here with us. I will give him a floor to introduce himself. He's one of the SPLM chapter here in Australia, Umbrella. And he was part of this show, is giving an announcement, and that thing will come up from him. And also, as a father, he's concerned and he appreciated and initiated this topic. He said that though without that announcement, he's happy to participate in this discussion of concerning our children here in diaspora. Comrade David Teng, welcome Lagos State Media. Floor is yours now to greet people and introduce yourself. Unmute yourself. Hello, David. Can you hear me? I think it's frozen. All right. Yeah.
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead straight
It's coming.
to building. Okay. I got Santino Majur has joined us here. Santino, good afternoon to you in Victoria. I think you requested the link before, and thank you for coming up. Before we repeat it ourselves, I think will be a good idea to listen from the new people who came up, because they were watching and listening from what we are discussing. So they might be coming with something different as well, or they come and participate. So then, forgive me, stay for a while. Let me go straight with Santino. Santino, introduce yourself, and then we join the topic. The discussion is regarding the children, our kids here, who are involving in a lot of crimes. Further,
Shukran,
you are
shukran, Brother Madhu,
in any
and the
language that
community leaders.
yeah.
أنا بشكركم كلكم. أنا مبسوط جدا عشان نسمع الليلة إنه community leaders joining hand together to share a problem our kid. And really, we are lost to all. Why? And بتكلم زيادة. ما شفنا دور بتاع community leaders. وأنا بجي سبب خلى عيال بتاعنا يمشي برا. أنا بجي فوقه. أولا نحن جينا بنريد أن نكون مسؤولين، ما بنكون مسؤولين للآخرين. أنا ماشي نكون مسؤول عشان نشوف مشكلة تاني وما بشوف مشكلة بتاع الوطن بتاعهم. نربنا لهم النسوان والرجال أو أبوات بتاع عيال مع أمهات بتاع عيال في النقص ريالي فيه، والنقص ما بكل جانا بتاع مرق برا. إذا أنت جادي أنت أبو عيال ولا وميال، لو أنت جادي جانا بتاع بس ما كلامك dan زول من برا. أنا لقيته أدبين وأنا بتكلم الليلة. نانا بالرجال، إذا أنت فارقت مع مرة بتاعك أنت بتفارق مع عيال بتاعك؟ No. أنا سألت واحد قلنا له يا أخي أنت مالك تكون برا مع من عيال بتاعك؟ قال له يا أخي عيال المرة دي أنا ما دايره، المرة ما جاء مع عيال حقك ولو مت ياو يالك ده بدفنك. إذا أنت فارقت مع المرة بتاعك ما تشوف يالك. أنا كنت شغال في المحل، فالناس كان بيقول قال يا أخي ده قال يالا دينكا يا مرق برا، أو يالا نور مرق برا، أو يالا شلوك مرق برا، بمشي بنلزم للقبيلة. يا أخوان الجنوبيين ده ما في نوبة ولا في دينكا ولا في نوراوي ولا في الشلوكاوي. المشاكل ده بواجهنا كلنا. كلنا كل بتاع الجنوب ده براهم ويندو يال ونانو يالنا كيف يالنا هنا شنو كيف بيبقى كيف. أي زول عنده جنا بتاعه. أنت تمشي تتكلم مع جنا زول البرا داك ولا أنت تنتظر تشوف يالك في المحلك ده أولا. إذا أنت تكون ليدر. أنا شكلت في محل قبل كده لقيت يال كان ماشيين 18 ولد والبنات. أنا وقفت وسألته يا أولاد ليه أنتم بتاكلوا يالكم؟ أنتم يا بزور بتاعنا أنا في البلد ده. إذا انتهينا منو بيجي منو متاني بمسكنا للأمام. كلامهم قالوا يوم ده أنا زعلت جدا في النفسية، لأن جزء من العيال فاكر حاجة اسم نسايا ما في نسية، ولا في نسية بالقوم من الهم ولا في نسية بالقوم من أبوه. ده واحد من أسباب بيشغلنا بفيد العيال، وعيالنا ده بسمع عيالنا ده كويسين. ده واحد يا لو ماشي يا 12 لو كمل يا 12 سنتل دين ما بديو للجنة، والجنة ده إذا أنت ما بتديو حقك ده ما بمشي اللي بكمس مع صديقه عشان يلقى عجب يأكله. ليه نحن نكون فاقين بالعيال بتاعنا؟ ليه؟ كده نمسك يدنا كلنا، ما في نوير ما في دينكا
ما في شلوك الجنة بموت ده ما دقوا الجنة جنوب السودان نحن دايرين نشوف الدور بتاع الناس الرؤساء بتاع الكوميونتي ديل دور بتاعهم شنو هلا يلقى الخروج البسيط من الحكومه ويكون في جيبه ولا يمشي يشوف له المحلات عشان هنا يال ديل لو شاب الجنة في الشارع يشوف له شغل يشال الرسوات لو فتيتوا رسوات من بسيط بتلقاه ده او لو عملت فنريسن عشان انت تم محلات عشان يال لو شفت الجنة ماشي في الشارع تعالوا شكلوه هلا بكره يمشي برا لو بيلقى حاجه بياكله ما في طبعا ما في الماليه يا فيز الرجال بتاعنا الماليه يا فيز الرجال بتاعنا عشان يمشي نسق مع الناس الثاني كده نرجع كلنا ابواب بتاع الرجال وما بتاع الرجال جنا ما في جنا وسكان
David,
انا
yeah,
شايف
you
بس
have
ما عندنا
issue of the network. I will come to you shortly. Just hang on. Okay, Kalista, Santino.
يا انا جاي كده ما بمشي شغل kwani kali الموضوع بيقولوا قال انه ويرو ده شلوكاوي نانا قاعدين في الدسبرا ما في شلوكاوي في بلده ما في دينكاوي في بلده ما في نويراوي في بلده كده نشوف بتاع العيال بتاعنا اولا جنة اذا قمنا بيناد مشينا للحكومه او واحد من الناس باحزاب ديل في احزاب المعنيين ديل ليبرال ديل ليبر لو كان انكرنا فوقه ونواجه المشاكل بواجهنا نحن نكون الناس بعد بكره من سنه ننوم في البيوت ونحن ما بنشوف المالات بينقصنا وما بنمشي فوقه كل فتنه ونشوف مشكله بتاع العيال بتاعنا خلينا نكون خدها لاولادنا ديل ما في الجنة كاب الجنة الكاب ده بيكون كويس بكره شكرا لكم
خلاص شكرا جزيلا سانتينو داني
Yeah, just clarification. Shangoli Matadula Angelo.
Clarification. Go ahead and clean into Nakaman a guest among us here. And
all right, okay.
We are discussing. That's why I brought him up. He was in another meeting.
Yeah, but
and he's a father and also he's a leader at the same time. And he's go ahead with that clarification. Then I will give it to
just a brief clarification in regard to family. Yep. All right. In regard to clarification, I want to tell you guys, it's not only families breaking down or family are not looking after kids. I'm really working with these families. Honestly, I want to tell you guys, I'm not guessing. I'm working with the families. Even last year, we went from house to house. A police officer, she's a white person. She said to 20 years old, you are lucky. You have community who care for you, or you have a family who care for you. She said, you don't know. In another community, she meant actually a white community, said even 10 years old, involved in the crime, no one cares for them. But you are lucky, guys. One. Number two, you got the families. Look this house, how it is. Okay? Even on Thursday, أنا بقول ده بعربي ها. يوم خميس يوم الخميس طبعا بوليس جاء هنا 2 بوليس العادي والبوليس اللي بيشتغل مع ناس المجرمين الكبار. الكوماندو ذاته جاني في البيت هنا. فهم كله قالوا كلام واحد. قال يا اخي الحاجه قاعد يصل في ناس بتاع الجنوب ده مختلف. قال انت شفت في خواجات وناس ابوريجينال عيال زي ده عيال اسر بتاعهم ما كويسين. لكن ليه؟ يعني كله بتاع جنوب السودان ده ناس بيوتهم كويس. ما لازم ما بيشربوا مرايس، لازم ما بيشربوا دراك، وناس قاعدين سوا، وده شنو قاعد يحصل؟ هم بيسالوا السؤال ده. فحاجه في ريكروتمنت، يلا قاعد يعملوا ريكروتمنت، حتى يال ماشي يعني عندهم even including those who are doing well in school, okay, and those who are involved in sport, they discourage them. They're saying you are wasting your time in school. You say 6 hours and a half in a school, you're not getting anything. You're not getting any benefit. Please leave school. There is other way you can get money easily, and you don't waste your time also in the sport. The recruitment happening among our children is not only families. Okay, I'm giving you these guys as evidence. You don't guess. I'm working with the families, with those children, and with the schools. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Odangi. Jama, lekum shukran jazilan kum. The viewers and those, I have some comments as well that I will raise their question to you here to answer those questions shortly. But before that, I would like to welcome my brother, Comrade David Teng, for a brief things to introduce himself. And also, we have an announcement that we want to give out to all South Sudanese in Australia. And after that announcement, he has also to weigh in as well in this great topic. If he's in his prospective way, how we can see how our children in our society or in the communities, how they are going out. So, Comrade David Fadl, Fursa Hagak, and you start to introduce yourself, and then you go to the announcement, and after announcement, you can participate in the show. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Isaac, and thank you so much to your the guest speakers who are in the studio with you. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, and happy Sunday for all of you. As you, maybe the viewers who are watching your your show live may know me, especially those who are residing here in Victoria. So, as you have heard from our comrade Isaac, my name is David Tainpoch, known by the name you can see on the screen. So, I am the interim provisional chairperson of the SPLM chapter in Australia. So, before I make an announcement, I want to pay my tribute and my heartfelt condolences to the family of late Comrade Agwil Deng, who just is no longer with us. We just passed away last night. You are all aware of our demise. So I would ask you before I actually extend my condolences as me as person, and also on behalf of the SPLM chapter. So if I would ask maybe 30 seconds, if I could ask you, Comrade Isaac, to observe 30 seconds silent here, and also with for those who are watching us live. So for our sister.
Thank you. That's correct.
Oh, thank you so much. I would not talk more about her because, as we all are aware, and I believe the comrade host and the rest of the speakers may be on another way, indirectly or directly related to her. So we will not say anything about her. She was a brilliant compatriot, diehard and loyal to the SPLM party. We will miss her. Our condolences as the chapter is to the family, relative, and the entire community, Denka in general, and Boer in particular. So to her kids, wherever they are, so may the Lord Almighty continue to comfort all of you and ease your pain, and we are all with you, and let her precious soul rest in peace. So coming to announcement, is going to be a short announcement, and then later, if I have any, I will stay. Comrade Isaac, I will be in the studio regarding this very important topic that you have been. You are discussing. But before when I finish the announcement, and then I will wait if I have something to add or maybe to comment later, I'll do it. So the announcement is for all the SPLM chapter members. As we all are aware, whether if you are in Brisbane or anywhere else, especially in particular in Victoria here after crisis, when we had this uncalled for war that engulfed our country in 2013. So the SPLM has been quiet, and we have seen, people has been frustrated. There has been no more activities and all the things so that we are seeing. So a lot of comrades has give up their contribution simply because of what we have witnessed and we are seeing back home. So last 2 years, the SPLM Juba have came up with initiative of forming a provisional body that I led to conduct, or to revitalize, the SPLM that has not been in existence, or if it was, but it was not actually seen by the members. So we came up with the plan to conduct the election all over the Australia. So unfortunately, when we started, it was a COVID, and we could not actually, implement any, anything at all. So now, because the COVID is gone, we have been actually given a directive by the Office of National Secretariat, Secretary for External Relations in particular, to hold election all over Australia. So it's not a topic of discussion. I just want to, because there will be a lot of questions as well if we open it for discussion. So briefly, I asked Comrade Isaac to give me a platform to make some announcements. So the announcement that I want to make is that there will be soon elections, starting with Victoria here, and then that election will be conducted very soon, and then the information will be communicated out to all the members of SPLM. Before election, then the executive and the advisory board will have a meeting tonight, where they will come up with a plan on how the election will be conducted. So as we all know, in any election, there is always a membership. So we will very soon after tonight open a membership to all the members, those who are still members, those who want to renew the membership, and those who want to rejoin the party. And then that will be communicated when we form the committee. And in that committee will be tasked with a lot of tasks, thing to do, and one of them will be a general assembly that will be called by the executive members of the chapter in Victoria here. And once we are done with the election here, and then it will be extended to other states. So mostly this announcement is meant for the members of SPLM chapter here in Victoria. So if you are a member here, so you need to prepare, you need to organize yourself. That yes, of course, there will be a timetable that will be communicated to General Assembly, and the membership is open from last week. So if you are willing to contest in any position, then you need at least to prepare yourself once the meeting is held, and then you will know exactly what to do. So it will be an election that will be conducted similar to what we did in 2020, 2010. If you are in other states, you know we have a diaspora guideline that we normally use to conduct the SPLM elections. And that guideline briefly tells us that we always have 10 state plus, it was 10 state plus RDA, but now it will be 10 state plus 3 administrative area, which is ABA and then Ruweng and Pibor. So there will be a requirement of each chapter to have a 13 executive plus 2, which is SPLM Women League and SPLM Youth League. So these are the things. So if you are a Victoria SPLM member, please be active. We don't want to give up our mother party, regardless of what had happened. So we need to work very hard to make sure that our contribution is given and wherever it is required. So if you are interested to lead as a leader outside there, make sure that you start paying your membership and mobilize your members who will elect you. So there will be a state caucus where each state from 10 states, if you are from Lakes, you are from Upper Nile, you are from any other state, including the administrative, you will go and contest on your caucus level.
Brother David,
level.
just 1
and
second.
if you are
Can you
elected,
just
and
make
then
it
you will,
short and brief? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, so that's all about the announcement. There, sorry for taking long. So this is what I want to announce. Sorry for taking long. It is not actually meant for a discussion. It was just an announcement, and I've taken long really. So yeah, from here and then more information will be communicated. So this is what I want to announce, and thank you for giving me this platform once again. Comrade Isaac and the Lagos State, the entire Lagos State media. Thank you.
You are welcome. I thank you so much, Comrade David, for the announcement that you yell out to all members of SPLM chapter here in Australia. Thank you for that. And stay on. You will participate as well in this topic. Let me just introduce new faces as well, and some who have been here for long and they are going for to the work. We will give them the chances as well to say their last remarks, so that they can go to do other activities. As I said before, this topic is really crucial and very hard. It will not be digested or discussed one day or one time. We are just it needs a process. I've seen one of the youth as well, Chiman Kuch. Welcome, Chiman.
Thank you, Isaac.
And then from Chiman, we'll go to Deng Defire. He's going to work to say his last remark.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leg Media, and all distinguished members and all the viewers. I'm very glad to join this forum today on the topic of the youth. First of all, my name is Shimana Kuch. As Isaac has said, I'm the youth leader of Baragazal in South Australia. So I will stop here and listen, and I will contribute later on the topic of the youth.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Deng Defire will give you the chance to go.
Actually, I won't say much. Like I said before, welcome to Man and welcome David and the rest of the members that have just joined us. I actually spoke already, and the thing that I wanted to say is that our young people really needs a lot of help, and the help that we need is for us to sit down and actually exhaust all of the information or the root cause. And one of the questions I wanted to ask is that most of our young people who are suffering in one way or another, such like mental health and all of that, why are we not accessing the services that are out there supporting us? I know many of you might not answer it, but it's a question that we need to discuss. We know and we need to also encourage our young people to access those services, because many of people have lost their way once upon a time, but because of the, because of the support that they had, they became a better person or better people in life later on. So for me, I'll probably leave it here. If there's any person who wants to ask me a question quickly before I go, then I'll be more than happy to answer that. But if nobody have any questions, then I'll probably head off from here.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Brother Deng Defy. I just have one question for you
Yeah.
as a youth leader, and I know your level of best, so that you are helping all these young kids, especially on the ground, which is street. You are there with them all the time, as we know.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to tell our viewers right now when you leave from here, and what is your job outside there for our viewers around the globe? Thank you.
Uh, that's a very good question, Banyagar. And you know, this, as many people already said, a very complex, complex discussion or topic. What we actually currently do now, like what Dangi said before, we are at the moment consulting with youth leaders individually, and we encourage the youth leaders to go and have a family discussion, because someone like Man know more Barakazal youth than myself, because he's the one who is leading the Barakazal youth and other youth leaders. So what we are currently doing now is to encourage all youth leaders to go and talk to their young parents, and also talk to their parents and see what we can do as a collective team. And this is where, once we get those information during this week, we will be able to present it to the executive, and we're going to present it and also see how we can come out with most information. And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you. I want to respond to my brother, Manyang Malet Manyang. Manyang, thank you for that. We not making that much too much talking the social media, but it is because only few people are out there on the street. Like you yourself, you have been involved in a lot of activities helping the youth and disabled people, which I appreciate personally, and I'm happy for that. And what others doing on the social media as well, they are advocating to bring out people to join you on the street to see and meet with these youth that are lingering or loitering on the street. So we appreciate that. Thank you. And for my brother Deng, thank you for being in Lagos State Media Show. This not will be the end. We
yeah.
will be discussing more, and such topic will be discussed several every time.
Thank
So
you.
you can go to work. And
Thank you.
okay,
I have a
Arnold.
Thank you.
Arnold
I have
has
a,
a
I have a question for you. Thank you very much for giving me a chance again. And I just want to ask some question for you, especially for our kids, for young kids outside there. Do you guys have any program, that summer program, like just like camping or something like that? Do you guys have such kind of program? Second question is that how about the people who are falling behind in school? Do you guys have some program like tutoring the kid? So I know the tutoring the kid is the major problem that lead the kid to drop out from school. If you guys can have those kind of program, that would be great. If you guys don't have it, you start to look for it. Tutoring children, and then summer camp. This is my question for you. If you guys have something like that.
Yes. At the moment, as can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Currently, in South Australia, like Mr. President already mentioned, that he's the one who's running that program, and he has some volunteers that are working with him the South Sudanese community here, though it's not funded by the government. I think he's the one who is doing it through the church, and he has a venue that people goes, and if you have struggling with different topics, you can go and find someone there who can actually go and help you within South Australia here. Though not a lot of people are aware of it, but he's already there. The program of the camping, as you know very well, the Sudanese community is not that big, and he's also working. And myself and the team are working to get some funding. Last year we had program of engaging a lot of young people into soccer, and we engaged them into competing within the African community, the African nation. So those programs that we're running currently, and also there's people running the basketball and the netball. And one thing that we did in the office of South Sudanese, we volunteer ourselves to drop kids to school, to basketball or soccer games. So that's kind of a program that we're running, but it's not also funded as well. So that's what we are doing currently, but we are limited with the funding as well. So we are currently working through with that. And because of COVID as well, the program did not run last year properly, but we tried to pick it up from this year.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. There is question here. This question is for all of us in the studio here and the audience. Okay, somebody have an echo. Let me just mute you and let me read out this question. I will bring it in the screen because we have touched base some of the cause of the crime that the children are doing. Comrade McKindle make a remarks. He said that my remarks will be a question to our communities. One, we want to know who gives our kids drugs. Is it government set up or other communities set up to destroy our kids? Two, at the school, there is brainwashed people who leads or led our kids to do wrong things. Three, playgrounds, there is drug dealers there that gives our kids drug for our kids kill themselves, not alone. And the questions goes on. So this is thrown to us here because we know some parts. That's why he's asking that way. So I want to start with, you can just raise up your hand, say that I give you the floor. Okay. Odangi, for that.
Thank you. I want just to also part of the question that my brother asked about the program that we have in South Australia. Yes, we do have tutoring, like Deng said before, that I started in 2014. On top of that, we use also to do tutoring here at my house with the Michael Denga cake. And he used to have his own, but without support, he couldn't do that. But we used to do it in my house and advocate, because I'm not just doing that, I advocate with the school. And then Denga now is working in a school called Trinity College, and other school called Black Crossing Christian College. What they're doing is now is not only just helping our kids, helping including other kids, and the school very proud of that. And I'm a parent of that school, and also part of the advisory committee in that school. That is working. I still pressing to other school, and like I said, and I said I will go that say in Arabic. لما زول كبير كوماندا بتاع عمليات ده جا في بيت سألني، أنا كلمته كلام بتاع سبورت بتاع مدارس، وقال خلاص بمشي لناس وزارة التربية عشان يكتو سبورت قروش عشان يساعدوا عيال في مدارس. So I think that will happen. لما نجي meeting بتاعنا, when we come to as a community, entire community come together and we meet and put our submission, and then we put our submission to the government. In regard to the question has been raised, in this country, even in school, the children selling drug even in the school. There are people go there, children who sell the drug in the school. A drug sell even in the churches. Okay, some people can go to the church. They are not going to the church. Actually, young people, and then they engage and sell drug to our children. That's not a government. And we know in this country there's so group called bikers. In South Australia, government work hard to dismantle the activity, but now they turn to use our young people to sell the drug and to act on their behalf. And that's why Commander Nagutelegi build they command this Operation Mail. Commander de nas chagalin manat bata bikers. And now with Shavial Batana Bigun Mushkela also they want to deal with our kids. And that's also very dangerous as well. That I want to answer the question that have been raised. Thank you. Will I tell Isaac also working? I don't know. If there is any question, come to me. I want to answer it now so that I can actually leave.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Thank you, Isaac, for giving me a chance again. As our chairperson, Odeng.
Odangi.
Thank you so much for the job you're doing. But it seemed to me when I listened to you, you just like talking in one part in Australia. But
yeah, talking about South Australia.
Yeah, South Australia. But
yeah, because I'm a leader of South Australia.
Yeah, the question is that when we see as outside Australia, we see all Australian like that, there is a lot of problem, especially for Sudanese community. So my question is that, do you guys have a coordination between all the provinces of Australia so that you guys can coordinate this thing so that the government can see you as a collective body? I think if you guys do something like that, it would be easy for the government, and also they can fund you as much as you guys can do. But if you guys separate yourself like one part and another part, I think would be difficult. Maybe your part would be okay, but other part of Australia would be the same thing. So you guys need to come up with a program that coordinate you all together, and then you guys can put your really good documentary written and to represent it to even the government of Australia. I think they can do something like that because the issue right now became all over the Australia. So my question, do you guys have a coordination between yourself and the Sudanese community?
Okay, thank you. I'll answer that. This is another part of the challenges that community facing. In South Australia, we got one community elected, but I don't know how many South Sudanese community in Melbourne. I don't know. Okay, and I know in Western Australia there's one leader, which is John. I know him. I think also there is one leader in Brisbane. I don't know how many leaders in Sydney. That we got that problem of conflict, of division among ourselves. If we, for instance, in Melbourne got 3 leaders, who are you gonna actually coordinate with? And make it very difficult at the level of the community, first of all. That it's easy if we got, for instance, Melbourne got one leader, as Alex said, also got one leader. It's very simple. We can come together and have a submission or have a conference to address this issue of young people, and then we make a submission to the government. But we need to fix that first, our problem of divisions as a community.
Okay.
Yeah, that question go to you guys of Lagos State Media. So really, if we really need to solve this problem, we really need you guys to coordinate all the community, the leaders of community of South Sudanese community in Australia, all together.
I take the challenge. I will do My
Yeah.
part, I will start with my leader here. My leader, South
Yeah.
Sudanese community leader in Queensland, called Sabir Rabang, is very energetic and is the face for us
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
really very active youth. He's a young
Yeah.
guy and he's the chairman.
It seems.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, David is hand it up as well as the show is going to an end soon. We will be
Yeah.
giving you
Yep.
fursa
Oh.
to talk, give
Yep.
your remark and your
let the
last
youth leader
remark.
Chairman
We
go
will
ahead
continue
first, and
with
then
this
David.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Yeah, I want
David,
also to
your question. Can
just
you
I want to
remark?
acknowledge. I want to
Okay,
acknowledge the president of Bargazal Youth Leader, Mr. Chaman Koji. You are welcome.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Comrade
All
David,
right.
Fadal.
So all right. Thank you so much, Comrade Isaac, and thank you for the for the well articulated views and from the speakers regarding our young people. So I'll as the party leader, I will not talk much as a community leader, but I will pick up from some of the views that was raised and question was raised by this the speakers. Especially, I can start by saying something about what the last speaker, Comrade, is it Odangi? I can't see the
Odangi,
names well.
yeah, Comrade
Udangi,
Odangi.
yeah, Udangi, yeah. So look, the issue here, one of the speaker mentioned very important point that we can actually, base our argument or discussion around, which is the kids being mobilized by other kids, and I think brother uh, Amol mentioned
Arnold,
something about this, and
yeah,
he has
Arnold.
Arnold, yeah. Um, Yes, look, I have kids. I have 4 kids, which are actually transiting from the 18 ages to grown up. I've got 14 and 16 years old, and this situation is not actually exceptional. It is actually a general situation for all the South Sudanese, and even the native Australian. It's not only for us. So, but we are actually engaging on because it is actually us. It is our problem. So we don't know what is actually happening to the rest. But this is the general situation in Australia here. And if your kids are friends, you will actually know what I'm actually talking about. So the word mobilization in school, it is actually the real. It is real. So kid being mobilized by others. Trust me, similar situation that we are talking about. If you talk about drug issues, drugs can be anything. Even this is small thing that they smoke at school, and they do them practically even in bathroom or any order of, even the Christian school actually have the same similar issues. So the mobilization is a factor that we need at least to look at. So we know there is a mobilization from other kids. They are actually giving them money even when they don't have money to buy those drugs, and they are also encouraging them to do the same because they are grown up now. And one of the speakers mentioned it very clearly that they also they just encourage them. They tell them, yeah, like, why are you doing this? Why you don't use the public transport? Why you are being dropped by your parents and all these things. So all these issues that was raised here are actually very essential and are very important that for and they are good for discussion. But the question that we need at least, when this young gentleman, youth leader who are with us in his studio, raise it. He has a question. So what we are looking for here, Comrade Isaac, is a solution. So we are not actually, putting or pointing finger to anyone or blaming anyone. So we are looking for a solution. And the solutions are actually very clear. They are very clear here. So one of the things that my brother mentioned here, and even on the question that was raised, I saw the question from from viewers, asking us to find a platform where we have to engage as a parent, as a community. And I would at least, a little bit agree and disagree with brother, Odongi, brother, the last leader who spoke, that we should not actually look into the leadership crisis as a problem to the solution to this. So if Victoria has, the way I'm looking at it, if we, let's say, give platform to the Lagos State media, to have an open forum, an open candid discussion. It shouldn't be in the forum here. So let it start, and I think it was done in Victoria, but I don't know whether they're continuing doing it now. So let's say Lagos State, we task Lagos State to take over the discussion, or maybe engage, the parents. It's now between leaders and the parents. So you don't need Victoria to have one leader. So you can target all the leaders, because this solution will be viable, or it will actually be a good solution if you actually engage all the leaders. When I talk about leaders, these are grassroots leaders. So you don't worry about the South Sudanese community if they have 3 leaders. You don't worry about the others. So you can even go deeper to the grassroots. When I said grassroots, you have Lagos State leader here. You have Nasser community leader. You have Bantu community leader. So you have Anua community leader. So these leaders can actually be engaged in an open place. It shouldn't be a forum like this. Lagos State, we can even mobilize funds, say, okay, Isaac and your team, come and actually put it live stream. Let all the leaders, all the state engage with the parent now. The question that will be discussed on that day will be a simple question. What is the problem? This question will be posed to the parent, and the parent, actually, even the leaders are included in that. So what is the problem? What went wrong, and how can we go about it? So have 8 hours discussion about this. The resolution will be, now we need to involve the young leaders, because they have also leaders. The kids now will be brought into the discussion. They will be asked to be open to discuss what went wrong, what the problem, why actually they are behaving like this. And believe it or not, you will have a lot of the statement from the kids that you will not even think of. So they will actually tell you a lot of things, because they will now be free to discuss. Who knows, perhaps they will actually even blame us that we are not actually taking care of them. And one of the speaker mentioned the issue of money. So if we are not feeding them as a parent, definitely they will go and steal some stuff from the calls. From shopping centers. So this is a very, very, important topic, and I really appreciate Lagos State media and the leaders who are actually now, sitting in this forum. So but what I would ask, let's take it further. Let's take it to grassroots. The leaders, even the political leaders, will also, back you up. So this is what I can actually add.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David, for that input. It's really, really, very good. You make a good suggestions. We are looking for the solution. That's correct. The Shiman Kuch, Fadal.
And all the members of the forum. I just want to add my contribution to the youth, because we are looking for the solution. What I have seen by myself as a youth leader, it's not about youth. The problem is about our parents and our leaders. The reason I say that, if we want to solve the problems for young people and everyone in the community, we have to start from the grassroots level. The grassroots level is, if you are elected as a community leader or a youth leader, and then you need to know what are the services that you need to provide for the young people. You need to know what are the services that link up with the elderly people, old people, and everyone. And for you to do that, because every young people, they need different needs and the right service. And for us to really solve these problems, we need to engage with the parents as leaders. And how we can engage them and how we're going to solve them is for us to do what we call a statistic. A data is very important. You need to know how many children, how many youth you represent within the community. Who is doing what? Is there anyone going to work, going to study? Who is doing what? Who is in castration? Who is being jailed? Who are those young people involved in crisis all the time? You need to have that data. When you got data, you can provide right services to right people. But when you are elected as a community leader, you don't have a data. You don't know who is who in the community. How can you provide services? You know, how can you talk about the funding? Who are you providing services for? What I have seen, our community leaders are elected to fight for something else they don't know. You know, they blame the youth, you know, and parents blame the youth, and we don't have problems. You know, I need every community leader and every youth leader to have a data from the grassroots level. How many children go to school? How many young people go to work? How many elderly people go to work who are studies? When you have that statistic, you can provide the right services for the right people. Let's say the young people who are now on the street, you don't know whether they have parents or they don't have parents. You know, maybe both of they don't have parents. You know, and how are you gonna know if they don't have parents? Is for you to have a data. And when you have a data, you are now engaging direct to these people, and you provide a correct service to the young people to be supported. You know, but if you don't have a data, how are you gonna help them? You know, you are like the person who have kids even, and you don't know how many kids you have. You know, I advocate for this to every community leader or a youth leader to have a data of its own people they represent. And when you have that data, you know who are those people, troublemakers, and then you have a forum with them. Because you know them in your data. You have a dashboard, you know it in your data, and you have to engage them and call them and ask them what's the problems. And you know these children, they have parents or they don't have parents. When you know they have parents, you can engage with the parent and ask them what's the problems. They will tell you, the parent will tell you, and the kid will tell you the reason. Therefore, now you can diagnose the problem now, and this is how your leadership, you will act now. You will act upon of that, and you provide the right service to those children. And then you can be engaging with the parent directly. But when we're just talking about everything, we are missing the point. All the leaders are missing the point here. You have to have a data for you to provide right service for the right people. So I will stop here, and I will allow other people to comment. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Chiman Kuch, as a young person, as a youth leader, for your contribution. So now we go next to Brother Dingden, who is Deputy Chairperson in Asia, which is Australia. By Ding, welcome. Unmute. Okay, just a minute. Yep, go ahead.
Yep. Thank you very much for calling me back again to make comments. In regard to the issue of the youth, actually, we had so many problems in South Australia, and I want to mention one thing that all of us need to be alert of, like what happened recently. As Barakazal youth leaders said that we need to have a data. Yeah, it is in our attention now that even though our youth here in South Australia, they have a lot of trouble, but there are those youth who come from interstate, like what the incident that happened in South Australia, for example. This incident is committed with somebody who's coming from Victoria, from interstate. And our youth, they all over in Australia, they are traveling from one state to another. How are we going to control this kind of movements for our youth? We don't have right to control the movement, but what we are looking at is to come together as youth leaders and parents and community leaders, elders, to discuss how to prevent such incident that occur now and then. In regard to prevention, I don't know. We don't have any solution yet how to prevent these tragedies, but it really it's hurting everybody. We don't want to see this happen every now and then, because we the parent, we are really don't have a word to express ourselves enough to our children. You know, a lot of things has been mentioned about school, drugs, and so forth. But the community, the South Sudanese community, where I am a vice president, Mr. Chairman is there, Mr. Wodangi, and our youth leader is there, and everybody in the executive. We cannot do it alone. We need help from all sub-community leaders, all elders, and parents for us, you know, to address the problem, because the problem is bigger than we thought. And if it is bigger like this, we need to sit down and come up with with some program as a collective views of the old parents and leaders within South Australia. The reason why I'm saying this is that the problem is not just only here in South Australia, because if you look the few incidents that went back way back, even last year, it's the same. A lot of things happen in Adelaide. When you go to investigate them, you find that, you know, those who have made those crimes, they come from different states. And our young people here, they are trying to maybe to whatever, how do you call it? They call themselves whatever groups, but the group that they divided themselves into is creating a lot of problems. That there is north side, there is south side, there is west side and east side, and so these are the things that making it hard for us as parents to understand, because our children are not communicating with us, they are not talking to us. I heard Mr. Shiman Kuchi was telling us that the youth don't have problem. They do have problem. They have problem. Why? Because if you have problem and you don't talk to your parent, how would your parent know that you have problem? You have to talk to your parent. If you go to, for example, if you are going to soccer and you don't have transport, you talk to your parent. But our children sometimes they sleep out in their friend places, and you never know what are they doing there, you know. And later on, you will find that your child has a problem with the police and so and so. So this is something that is hurting us, and we need a solution for it. So I'm just saying it that all of us, we need to be alert, and we need to have a meeting to talk about this. And the meetings, as I mentioned before, is on Saturday the 7th. And we urge everybody to come in there and, you know, and participate so that we can address. And I also thanks the Lagos State media for hosting us so that we can hear our views and hear from other people also how we should go about this. So thank you very much for allowing me to comment.
Thank you, brother Dingden, and all the rest who are watching in different places. We thank you all for watching this platform and discussion for our kids, as we are all concerned. And I think this is just only brainstorming, and all the work will be on the way, and how to rescue our kids and all these young people, wherever they are, not just only in Australia, but the whole worldwide, even back home. So there are a lot of issues that need to be discussed. And if we are discussing it here on this platform or in the media, does not mean that we are not facing them on the street or individually, especially those who are already involved with the crisis, as our brother Digdel stated it before. Thank you all, and I will just give every one of you 2 minutes for the last remark, and then from there we will close the show down. And it's not going to stop there. We will continue asking ourselves how to help or how to handle all these situations that our kids are involved with, especially at this time with this crisis. So I will start with Brother Arnold Benjamin. Please welcome with your 2 minutes of last remarks. Thank you.
Agar Mabuk, I'm going to leave. Sorry for interruption. I'm going to let's leave you guys. I'm going somewhere. Some people are waiting for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ding, for joining us. Thank you. You can, yep, you can go.
You can go ahead, then maybe I can get it. You can go ahead first, if you have a remark. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Agar, for giving me a chance again. And actually, it's really a heartbreaking topic because our kid actually, we lost a lot of kids, potential scientists, potential teachers, potential political people in South Sudan. But who knows? So if we put this program on the table, maybe God can help us to do something. So it is hard, not easy. Actually, we need collective ideas as a Sudanese in Australia, all part of Australia. You guys can come together and then you can discuss. When people come together and put the brain together, maybe we can come out with a good model that can help our kid so that we can, our image actually, it is become so bad in all the world, not just Australia, even here. Every morning when we get up every morning here, we find news from Australia. Somebody would be murdered and something like that, which is a destructive image for our community. So it is ours to fix it, not the government. We can go to government to help us if we need if we need something for help. I believe the help is there, but if we organize ourselves, I think the government will help us. It is a collective work, not one part in Australia, but all the part in Australia. So the leaders, they should come together and then brainstorming the program, and then they can make the way out for our kids. So we just pray that God can give us the knowledge so that we can protect our kids for this situation, which is very fortunate to our people. Our country needs us, needs our kids. So if we fail here, and I think the country will fail also. So it is tough, and it is hard, and it is a lot of effort. Everybody, if you have something that you contribute to this kid, and I think you're welcome. Thank you so much, and I hope will not be the end of the program, and I hope maybe next time a lot of people will come with a lot of ideas so that we can grab our hand and then we can rise to the promised land. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Arnold, for your last remark. And now, since Isaac is here already, so I will hand it over to you, Isaac, and then you can follow up the program. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Agar. Sorry, I was being engaged in the phone here, but we came to conclusion anyway. 2 hours already is being elapsed. These are the final remarks. I will give it to my brother, Comrade David, and then go to youth leader Sheman, and the president of South Sudanese community in South Australia will conclude, and then we will end up the show there. Comrade David, your final remarks, please.
Thank you once again to you, Comrade Isaac and Comrade Agar, and the entire Lagos State crew, Lagos State media staff. organizing this very important forum, and I really appreciate you for job well done. And also to my colleagues, the leaders from South Australia, and the other leaders and your viewers. So look, I just want to say, let keep the candle burning. We should not give up, as my brother mentioned. Look, it is unfortunate that we are losing our kids. It is unfortunate that we are losing a bright future for our country. So we should always, in our individual time, on our own space, to keep praying, for our community. So I believe only God will rescue us. With us also, with the spirit of faith, we will be able at least to come up with a solution. Can you hear me?
Yep. You hear you loud and clear. Continue.
Yeah. So yeah, I will not take long, because it has been a long time, nearly 2 hours. So what I would love to suggest to the leaders who are present here, and also to the legislature, as I mentioned earlier, let not just finish this discussion and then that will be all. So let try at least to put more effort to come with ideas on how we can actually find a solution to this. And as I mentioned, I would at least urge the leaders here present to coordinate with Lagos State Media, and Comrade Agar and Comrade Isaac, I would suggest, even, if we have to make a coordination as the members of the party here and other parties, so we can, put some, we can even contribute to this, to support it, to finance it. I would even suggest a open forum. When I said about open forum, I need Lagos State. The whole Lagos State can actually move in any way, location that we actually, choose to have that, discussion and brainstorming and, with parents. So if we started, with the leaders in South Australia, why not? The other state may follow the suit. So let keep candle burning, as I said earlier, and believe it or not, we will get there. So thank you so much for this initiative, and I really appreciate it, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Comrade David. Comrade Chiman.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac. I'm really glad for you all, the Lagos State Media, and all the viewers. This has been advocating media for everyone, for the community. Keep it up. To my leader Udangi, I do appreciate your presence, and I think we're gonna have a meeting very soon, me and you and others, community youth leaders, and then we put this youth crisis into right position. As I said, we'll engage with the parent, and that's what our job as youth leaders and parent is, to take care of our young one. So for me now, I have to deal with parent first before I go to my youth. So because I know the problem is within here, so it's within our leaders and the parents. When we fix our own problems, our kids will be okay. We're going to be easy to deal with them. But right now, we as leaders, we need to deal ourselves and the parent first, so that we can have a common understanding, so that we can engage with the young one. So thank you, everyone. I will stop here, and Lagos State, keep it up. Next time you call all the state leaders, as my brother Twin mentioned, we all gonna be participating next forum. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Comrade Odangi, floor is yours.
I would like to thank you, Isaac, Agar, and team of the Lake State Media, brothers who have contributed from Canada, US, interstate, Melbourne, and Brisbane, and also my team in South Australia, Deng, and big boy, Juman, it is very important. If you go back what I said before, when Isaac said we can say this, to me this is a big problem because some people will say this is issue of certain tribe and certain client and certain people, and that's why it's been there. No one actually stood up and said that's my problem. That why it has been that way. People say, oh, this is Upper Nile, or this is Bahr Ghazal, or this is Equatoria. I will urge every South Sudanese take that responsibility. Every Sheldon Street, it is belong to you. It is belong to you, and stop divisions among ourselves. And also urge the members of the community, please. There are people there with a humanitarian heart in the community. Give them chance to lead and to support, because a community is not a political entity. It's not a political forum that we want to express our political view. I'm not mentioning David. That I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a community is not a political entity. It's the mother of all the organization. So you can find somebody who's a politician in the community, or somebody a different party. It is you as a community leader accommodate everyone. That's your role. You can't divide your own people based on the background, based on their tribe, and based on the political affiliation. That's not a role of community. Community, you bring people together. Yes, young people need our collaboration support. Families, young people, youth leaders, we together, we can achieve that. I'll tell you one thing. There is one guy who is not known even from his own community who got connection with those people. It took me one day, we went, I happened to see the young people, not the young people, the people that will stay themselves, who are involved in different activity, but that through him. I couldn't able to do that. I don't know them, but he made that connections. So we need also to acknowledge whoever want to contribute. Not only community leaders who can do the job. Every single member from our community can do a job. On top of that, we community, South Sudanese community, always we deny. We want to see somebody who involved in crime, or somebody in jail, or somebody in drug. We don't want them. We don't want them. This is our problem. We deny. But no matter, it is belong to us. Go talk to them. Go provide support to them. I did that one day. I found someone with the police. I picked it up. I bring it to my house. He had a shower. We share a meal. I become very close to me because of that trust. We need to build trust. Don't shy out from your community member, whether it's a criminal, whether it's a drunkard, whether it's, you need to support them, reach out to them. Well, thank you very much. And then in every prayer you pray, 1 minute mention a South Sudanese youth. God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much, Odangi. Agar, your last remarks. Say that I close.
Thank you, Brother Isaac, and all the audience who are watching in different places. We thank you all for attending this platform and watching this show tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you all, and we will be talking a lot in these issues in the coming show, and we will let you know when it is going to be, and we will invite a lot of people who have experiences and how to handle all these issues also, whether in Australia or America, USA, Europe, even back home. So please stand by. Whenever you have been called, please come in and put on your input. How are we going to deal with this situation we are in right now? Thank you, Isaac. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Agar. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our panels and our viewers for this great discussion that we have brainstormed here, searching for the solution, how we can help our children. What we go with us here is that you community leaders try to reach out to one another, and we are ready and available anytime to host such a show. like this one now. The first show, I presume to be the leaders, intellectuals as well. We don't need to leave them behind. Intellectuals, some community leaders, parents. After that, we will bring youth as well. The last time I have attended here in Brisbane, one of the debate held between African youth and African parents. The youth has really defeated the parents because it looks like they have no problem or they are the problem, but they know exactly what made them, who they are, and what took them out. So we need also to listen from their side as well. We don't put every single blames or anything on them. They have some points that we can look into it and also will help us of solving this issue. So I really say that thank you so much. God bless you all. Go in peace and have a good Sunday, good Monday in other areas. And we will catch up again here in this platform. God bless you all. Thank you.
It's your boy Young Love, I give him that treatment. Control leg stand and punch it America. Banyi doll, control leg stand and punch it America. Banyi doll, walk on your leg, kankara watana watching. Koga level leg, gear, wow, garay leg. Panda with ya, punch it America. Panya doll, chingatonga pandon, could you ever buy a check out? Papu panda gear, what ya be doll venting. Stand up and cheat America, Banji Dwell, Banapanta leg stand up and cheat America, Banji Dwell, Banapan walk on your leg, Kankaro Watana watching, Koga level leg, gear, wow, where I leg, Panda with ya, Panchid America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check out, Paku Panda Giro, what ya be, Dwalabanting.